Hi, Cameron. This is Rebecca Lane, your public speaking instructor, and I'm going to talk through your outline really quick. Okay, so first, your hook attention grabber, the true story about how not controlling your budget can ruin one's finances. Okay, so this is kind of broad. What do you mean, true story? What specific story are you going to tell? So go ahead and make that even more specific. The big idea, everyone's budget is different. And whether you know it or not, you have a budget, your financial independence. Okay, so you're starting out kind of broad, but then you move into something that's much more intriguing. I would say start out with this. Whether you know it or not, you already have a budget, and your financial independence depends on your control over it. So you can go ahead and cut this out because it kind of just mushes into it. This is more strong when you don't include that first part. What's in it for the audience? Okay, so this is about the audience, right? So you will see the importance of controlling your budget by hearing about my real past. Okay, so you see how you started by making it about the audience and then you ended by making it about you? What's in it for the audience needs to be all about the audience. What's in it for them? What's their life going to look like if they listen to you? How is their day going to be better if they sit through your speech? Really make it only about them. And so then we're moving on to why should your audience listen to you? This is where you get to talk about you, right? So this part that's about your real past experiences, that belongs in this category. Okay, so my audience should listen to me because I've learned how to budget the single life, then turned around and budget the married life with 2 kids. I wasn't always in control of my budget. Okay, so you've got some really good stuff here. I'd like to see it a little bit more concise. Perhaps even just starting here. I had to learn the hard way that controlling the budget is a necessity. And so I had to learn the hard way. I mean, that's a great way to start that out. Why should you listen to me? You need to listen to me because I learned the hard way. Started out single, then I got married, and then I had 2 kids. Okay, so a little bit of reorganizing here, and just making it much more succinct. So I know that there's a lot. Like when you look at the beginning, there are a lot of tiny things that we're putting in here, but the introduction really doesn't need to be really long. It just is very specific. Okay, so then we're moving on to the call for adventure. So you can live a much happier life knowing that you have a future plan and learning how to control your budget. Okay, I mean you get to live a happier life. So make sure that in here, and you're starting to do that, right? You kind of do that with this. And you're doing that here, but talking about what is. You don't have control, and so this, a much happier life, but what does that happier life look like? Can you be more specific? What are you going to do? You're going to take control of your budget. And what does that mean? That means that you get to take that vacation you wanted to take, or it means that you get to stop working when you're 60 because you actually you had savings. I mean, I don't know what that means, but can you make it more specific? Okay, so now we're going to move on to that middle section. We've got the preview of the main points. I like how you're paraphrasing what you've got here. That works out really well. Supporting point 1 within the United States, still coming out of recession, hundreds of young adults are still struggling to keep their finances in order. Okay, this is excellent. You're making a really strong claim. Now I need you to start citing information. You're making claims, but you're not citing that information, which doesn't give you any credibility, right? So where did you get this? So when we look at the example that you guys were given, right, you see how we've got this supporting point, and then you've got that subpoint that goes under it, and not only is the subpoint under it, we've got the average American spends 149 minutes on Facebook. In parentheses, we've got this labeled as factual evidence, and then we've got that source listed, and then we're marking that we've accessed logos, right? Okay, and then we move on to supporting point 2. And then you'll see that subpoint is under there, and this one happens to be a story, so they've labeled it emotional evidence, story, ethos, pathos. Okay, so it's ethos and pathos because it's a personal story, right? It adds to credibility. And it's pathos because we're accessing relationships, it's a best friend. It's probably going to be an emotional story. Okay, so, and you see how we're alternating factual evidence with emotional evidence, factual evidence, emotional evidence. This is the kind of thing that I want to see happening in your outline as well. So this needs to be fleshed out a lot more. All right, we've got a call to action. Find a financial advisor, see what types of budgeting works best for you. Take control of your finances. I think that's really great. Is there any way you can be more specific? How do we find that financial advisor? Is there a tip or two that you can go ahead and add in there? If that doesn't fit in, that's cool. But if it does, if there's one sentence or two that you can give us a direction with, that's going to be better because, again, this is my favorite word, it's going to be more specific. Okay, summarizing the main points, the end. So, excellent summary. I liked how you did that. You used different words. It's even more succinct. That's good. Restate the big idea, control your budget. I like how this pops. This is succinct. And then the clincher. Controlling your budget will open you up to a brighter, well-financed, and well-spent future. Okay, this comment is excellent as long as you have given us really clear descriptors of what this means prior to saying this. Okay, so one of the things that I'm missing is I'm missing your source citations. I don't see any. And you really are required to cite sources for this assignment. So you're going to lose points there. Make sure you're focusing on APA source citations. Because this can't all be from your personal experience. We really do want sources. And make sure that you have a response post. I didn't see your response post. Okay, Cameron, thank you so much. I think this is going to be a really interesting presentation. If you have any questions, just give me a call. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.